Welcome to Chapter 1, Lesson 1. In diesem Lektion lernen wir die Medikamente und Hausmittel. In this lesson, we shall be learning some medicines and some house remedies to the diseases we learnt in the previous chapter. Los geht's! Let's get started. In the previous video, we have taken a very detailed look at the different body parts as well as the different kinds of diseases. However, if disease is a problem, we definitely need to take a look at its solution. So, in this chapter, we are first going to take a look with this lesson on the different kinds of medicines and house remedies that can be treated as a solution to the diseases. We shall begin with some kind of house remedies, something that you can do by yourself at home and don't really need a doctor for. The very first one is warmes Wasser trinken. Warmes Wasser trinken. Can you guess what that means? I'm sure you can guess it now. It means to drink hot water. Warmes Wasser trinken. Ich habe Husten. Ich trinke warmes Wasser. Ich habe Husten. Ich trinke warmes Wasser. Another thing very simple that you can do at home is simply im Bett bleiben. And we all do it every day in the morning because we don't want to get up. But when you are sick, it is advised to be in the bed. Simply said, it means to take rest. Im Bett bleiben. Ich habe Fieber. Ich bleibe heute im Bett. I have a fever. Today I will stay in bed. Ich habe Fieber. Ich bleibe heute im Bett. Sehr gut. Another house remedy is Milch mit Honig trinken. Milch mit Honig trinken. And again, I'm very sure that you can guess what it means. To drink milk with honey. Milk with honey is said to have some medicinal properties and you can use it as a house remedy against some diseases. Ich trinke Milch mit Honig. Ich trinke Milch mit Honig. Another very common Hausmittel or very common house remedy is Nelken in den Mund nehmen. Nelken are cloves. So when you keep them in your mouth, you are said to feel better when you have a certain kind of disease, like maybe a cold or a cough. Ich nehme Nelken in den Mund. I am keeping or taking some cloves in the mouth. The singular form is die Nelke and the plural form is die Nelken. So you don't have to take a lot of Nelken in your mouth, just one or two is enough. So when you are taking just one of the clove, you can just say Ich nehme eine Nelke in den Mund. Sehr gut. Another Hausmittel is leise Musik hören. To listen to low music. Some kind of soft music which can help you relax. Ich höre leise Musik. I am listening to soft music. Sehr gut. When you are sick, you are often recommended to drink Kräutertee. Kräutertee trinken means to drink herbal tea. It is warm and it has got herbs in it which help you recover soon. Kräutertee trinken. Similar to Kräutertee is Kamillentee, which means chamomile tea. It is also a kind of herbal tea which helps you get well soon. Ich trinke Kamillentee. Kamillentee. Sehr gut. Another such home remedy is Hühnersuppe essen. Suppe is soup and Hühner is chicken. So Hühnersuppe is to eat chicken soup. Hühnersuppe essen. Sehr gut. So these were some kinds of home remedies which can be used when one is sick or not feeling well. Next, we shall now learn some kinds of medicines or what can be done if we are really sick and maybe none of the home remedies are working. So the very first thing that you would be suggested to do is to go to the doctor. To go to the doctor is zum Arzt gehen. I'm sure you can recall that Arzt is doctor. So zum Arzt gehen means to go to the doctor. Ich bin krank, ich gehe zum Arzt. Ich bin krank, ich gehe zum Arzt. And when you go to the doctor can give you some painkillers or antibiotics or tablets or simply medicines. The German word for painkillers is Schmerzmittel. So you can say Schmerzmittel nehmen, to take painkillers. Schmerzmittel nehmen. Ich nehme Schmerzmittel. Ich habe Rückenschmerzen. Ich nehme Schmerzmittel. I have a backache. I am taking some painkillers. Ich habe Rückenschmerzen. Ich nehme Schmerzmittel. Similarly, you can say Ich nehme Antibiotika, which is I am taking some antibiotics. Antibiotika nehmen. Just like Schmerzmittel nehmen, you can also use the word Antibiotika instead of Schmerzmittel. Also, you can use the word Tabletten. Ich nehme Tabletten. I am taking tablets. Ich nehme Tabletten. All of these are Medikamente, which means medicines. Ich nehme Medikamente. Ich nehme Medikamente gegen Rückenschmerzen. I am taking medicines for backache. Please note that in English, we tend to say I am taking tablets for. However, in German, we are not saying Ich nehme Tabletten or Ich nehme Medikamente für Rückenschmerzen. Instead of that, we say Ich nehme Medikamente gegen Rückenschmerzen. Gegen in German means against. So I am taking medicines against backache. Sehr gut. Another medicine is Hustensaft, which means cough syrup. Hustensaft nehmen. to take cough syrup. Ich habe Husten. Ich nehme Hustensaft. Ich habe Husten. Ich nehme Hustensaft. Another such kind of medicine are different kinds of drops, and very commonly we have the nose drops or the eye drops. Drops are called Tropfen and nose drops are called the Nasentropfen. Ich nehme Nasentropfen. And eye drops are called Augentropfen. Ich nehme Augentropfen. Ich nehme Augentropfen. Sehr gut. When you go to the doctor or when you go to some kind of clinic, sometimes you might also get an injection. An injection is called the Spritzer or eine Spritzer. Die Spritzer. Ich bekomme heute eine Spritze. Today I will be getting an injection. Ich bekomme heute eine Spritze. Sehr gut. These are the different kinds of medicines that you can take apart from some other house remedies that you might want to use. Please make sure to practice these correctly, and the dialogues which will now follow will help you understand to use the modal verbs learnt in the previous chapter and these Hausmittel and names of medicines in a correct way. So let's take a look at some of the dialogues which will help us understand this better. The first dialogue is, person A says, Ich habe Husten. And person B says, Du kannst Hustensaft trinken. You can see here that in the solution we have used one modal verb. Du kannst. It is the modal verb können, and the other verb trinken has gone towards the end as it is. So simply put, this dialogue says, person A, I have a cough. And person B, you can drink cough syrup. Let us now take a look at the next dialogue. A. Mir geht es nicht gut. Ich habe Fieber. B. Du darfst nicht arbeiten. Du musst im Bett bleiben. Here you can see the use of the modal verbs dürfen and müssen. Do you remember what dürfen means? Probably you are right. It means to be allowed to. So, du darfst nicht arbeiten means you are not allowed to work. Du musst im Bett bleiben. You must stay in bed. Please read the third dialogue. You can pause the video and read it quickly. A. Ich habe Grippe seit 3 Tagen. B. Du musst zum Arzt gehen. Person A is complaining that he or she has got a flu since 3 days. So person B says, you must go to the doctor. Again, we have the usage of the modal verb müssen, and it has been conjugated as per du, and the infinitive form of gehen is put right at the end of the sentence. Let us take a look at the next dialogue. Please pause the video and read it for yourself. A. Peter hat Kopfschmerzen. B. Trinkt er viel Kaffee? A. Ja, er trinkt sehr viel Kaffee. B. Er soll keinen Kaffee trinken. In this case, we can see the use of the modal verb sollen. Sollen refers to a kind of an obligation, something that one should do or one ought to do. So if somebody is saying, soll keinen Kaffee trinken, it means that the person in question here, that is Peter, since we are talking about him, should not drink coffee now. If a doctor was to tell you that you should not drink coffee anymore, the doctor would say, du sollst keinen Kaffee trinken, which means you have to listen to the doctor and not drink any coffee anymore. Let us look at the next dialogue. Please pause the video and take some minutes to read it. A. Meine Schwester hat Halsschmerzen. B. Sie soll warmes Wasser trinken. A. Hilft das gegen Halsschmerzen? B. Ja, aber sie soll auch zum Arzt gehen. We can see the repeated usage of the verb sollen here, which means that the person ought to do something. Also, we can see the usage of the preposition gegen, which means against. So we have a question in between, hilft das gegen Halsschmerzen? It means, does it help against or does it help for the throat ache? And again in the last sentence we have sollen, wherein it implies that yes, it helps against throat ache, but she ought to go to the doctor. Let us look at the next dialogue. Please pause the video and read it. A. Mir tut der Rücken weh. B. Du sollst im Bett bleiben. A. Aber ich muss arbeiten. Ich darf nicht aufhören. B. Dann kannst du Schmerzmittel nehmen. Person A is complaining that he or she has a backache, and person B says that person A ought to stay in the bed. But person A says that he or she must continue and must work. He or she is not allowed to stop. We can see the usage of the modal verbs müssen and dürfen in this sentence. So finally person B says, then you can take some painkillers. So now that you have seen the dialogues, I hope you have understood how you can make a suggestion or how you can give advice using the modal verbs. We have also learned the vocabulary related to the house remedies and medicines. I will now name few situations where I will say that I am sick and you can pause the video and give me suggestions using the modal verbs and the medicines or the home remedies. For example, I will say, Ich habe Rückenschmerzen. Ich habe Rückenschmerzen. And you can pause the video and think of what kind of solution can you suggest. So you could either ask me to take some kind of painkillers, or you could simply ask me to go to the doctor. So how can you frame this sentence using the modal verb? You could simply say, Du kannst zum Arzt gehen. Or you could also say, du kannst Schmerzmittel nehmen. Alright, so the next situation is Ich habe Fieber. Ich habe Fieber. You can pause the video here and think of some kind of solution. Good. As pointed out earlier, a simple solution could simply be Du kannst zum Arzt gehen. You can go to the doctor. Or you can say it with a little more urgency. You can say Du musst zum Arzt gehen. You must go to the doctor. Or your suggestion could also be Du musst im Bett bleiben. You must stay in the bed. Any of these suggestions will do. But make sure that your modal verb is conjugated as per the subject, du in this case since you are addressing me, and the other verb goes right at the end of the sentence in its original form or in its infinitive form. Let me give you another situation. Ich habe Halsschmerzen. Ich habe Halsschmerzen. You can pause the video here and you can think of a solution that you can suggest to me. Okay, so you can have some kind of a solution like Du kannst warmes Wasser trinken. You can drink warm water. You can also use Du darfst nicht viel sprechen. You are not allowed to talk too much. Or something similar. Another situation is Mir geht es nicht gut. Ich bin krank. Mir geht es nicht gut. Ich bin krank. Please pause the video here and try to think of a solution. This statement, Mir geht es nicht gut, ich bin krank, is a very general statement. I am not keeping well, I am sick. So you cannot say or give a very specific suggestion. However, you can also come up with a very general suggestion. Du musst zum Arzt gehen. You must go to the doctor. Or you can say, Du kannst Medikamente nehmen. You can take medicines. So that way, you can use the modal verbs as well as the vocabulary taught related to medicines and home remedies to give someone a suggestion when they are not feeling well and they are asking you for some advice. You can play out this situation or you can play out similar situations with your friends and practice giving them advices. Tschüss!